Well, hello, everybody. Glad you're with us here on this Wednesday midweek. Longshore and McKnight, presented by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Barry, we're up early today, but not as early as some of our chatters at 4:51 this morning. Wow.
I love it. I love it that our community here, Longshore and McKnight City, is so strong that you guys, you start chatting amongst yourselves before we even get started. It's, the way I look at it is like if you are buying tickets to a Hall & Oates concert.
Yeah, well, you can't do that anymore.
Well, yeah, but if you were, back in the day. By the way, they never called themselves Hall & Oates. If you always look at their albums, it always says Daryl Hall and John Oates. They never called themselves Hall & Oates. But Hall & Oates are coming to town, or Simon and Garfunkel or something. And you guys are standing outside in that long line to buy tickets, and you're like, "Hey, man, where are you from?"
Yeah,
no, I'm just from down there, and everybody's just hanging out, vibing with each other, waiting for Longshore and McKnight to get started. Guys,
yeah,
we love you. We love.
Is this like a pregame party? A little darty before we get going?
That's exactly right.
Love it.
Yeah, we do. But we're here. We're on time. It's you guys who are early today on the show. One more day until the start of the NFL. The Phantom, I know, cannot wait for that.
More on that later.
Yeah.
Actually, somebody's already commented on that on the chat line, huh? Wow.
Oh, yeah. That's the other. That's the downside of having everybody in early. Is you're like, man, I'm not even on to defend myself yet. But there is action tomorrow night in the NFL. Cowboys.
Action. Oh, I love that word.
And the Eagles. NBC tomorrow night. College football is just going Lee Corso, and they're saying the heck with it.
Sure.
College football is giving it up. First college football games are on Friday, and even those aren't going to burn the house down.
Not thrilled about that. Don't like the Friday game.
No, Friday is high school.
Yep.
High school. So I was looking with interest yesterday. Troy will play at Clemson. I'm getting my preparation done. Last week, Clemson was number 4, but they lost. So I'm sitting here thinking, okay, I got to put something at the top of my scope spotting chart. It has, where the teams are ranked, where they're ranked. Had to wait to write that down for Clemson until the AP poll came out. AP poll came out yesterday. I say, oh boy, here we go. Clemson dropped from number 4 to number 8. I wonder where Alabama is.
Oh,
John, I almost had to go into the load more.
Really?
First time in 17 years that Alabama is not in the top 20.
In both polls?
Well, in the AP poll. I don't know about the coaches. Yeah, the AP poll, the media poll. None of them are, tremendously legit or anything. 17 years since Alabama has not been in the top 20. They come in number 21. If you are a college senior at the capstone, you're looking around to all your buddies. You've got your Ryan Williams jersey on. He was like 6. He was just born.
Yeah, well,
the last time Alabama was not in the top 20. They've got a losing record for the first time in millions of years and everything.
Barry, my number 4 child will be 18 in about 2 weeks. He has never seen Alabama be outside the top 20.
Ever. Not once, you know.
How about that?
I think part of it, honestly, and I'm not exulting over it. I'm as shocked as anybody. It may be good for Alabama fan. I've said for about 14 and 13 of those 17 years that, Bama fans, I think it would be good for you if you suffered a little adversity.
You get fat and happy.
Spoiled.
Yes, you'll see that, Barry, Saturday night at 6:45 when the spoiled ones don't show up, and I'm expecting many not to show up. Particularly in the second half, they'll be out of there no matter what the score is. But anyway, you're right. Yeah, they need to see what it's like on the other side and work and build and sweat and bleed, and maybe hit somebody and chase somebody down and knock somebody else on the ground and be able to protect their quarterback. Yeah, they need to know what it's like when you're down on the ground, which they haven't much, but
not much.
Last year, many of them didn't seem to bother them in the offseason. There's a couple of things that have kind of disturbed me, Barry. That one doesn't. I really don't. I think they need to drop maybe a little further. What disturbed me though, Barry, is that where's the love for Auburn? I mean, they go on the road.
I'm not in
by double digits. I mean, when are they going to get the panache and the cachet and the recognition they so richly deserve? I mean, is Philip written about this? I haven't checked in on him today, but I'm thinking perfect, just complete overlook, just slap us in the face, push us in the corner. I mean, it's not going to help. They're playing
Ball State,
South Alabama, but dadgum. I mean, give the Aubs some love here. I mean, on the road, Power 5, double digits.
Is it? Bill from Baltimore, is it surprising Auburn isn't at the bottom of the top 25? I'm not saying it was a ringing endorsement, but voters must not think much of it. They got to see a little more. Plainsman Preston says Aubs are like also receiving votes.
Well, I was about to say that they did it. That's kind of like the load more category.
Yeah.
Also receiving votes. So, at least somebody out there, I don't vote, but somebody else out there thinks they're worthy of getting into the top 25. There again, I don't think the next 2 weeks are going to help them out too much. I'm sure they'll inch closer to the top 25. If Alabama loses again, maybe they'll take their slot.
This is how that'll happen. That's how it'll happen. Indiana will lose, or Tennessee, or Oklahoma, or somebody. It's not that Auburn has much of a chance to fight their way into the top 25 as much as other teams will putz their way out of the top 25.
And, Barry, for as long as you've known me, I mean, I've done all I can to promote and support the Auburn athletic department.
As much as he can,
really, yeah.
I mean, ad infinitum, sometimes even the Auburn fans are like, John, enough. We don't deserve all of this from you. I mean, I've had a lot of Auburn people say, we don't deserve this from John. Well, in a lot of different contexts. But, it's just about that time. And I guaranteed that the Auburn fans will be much more excited about sneaking their way, inching their way into the top 25 than Alabama fans are about being number 21. It's just a little bit more appreciation. They appreciate these types of things.
I like that.
You're so much more. Right now, number one is Ohio State, and boys, they deserve to be. They looked really good with former Alabama quarterback Julian Sayin at the top. Number two is Penn State. John's been on Penn State a pretty good bit.
Yes.
LSU 3, Georgia 4, Miami 5, Oregon 6, Texas drops to 7, Clemson after the loss to LSU, only to number 8, Notre Dame number 9, and South Carolina is in the top 10 in the regular season for the first time since December 2013.
How about that? Yeah. So another thing that kind of has caught my attention that I don't like. We've touched on it earlier in the week. Obviously, there are players out there that maybe think, I'm going to do what I want to do. Coaches might not say anything to them for fear of hurting their feelings, and they might hit the transfer portal. It's a different day and age. It's a different game. But some things that I've seen, Barry, I find very disturbing from the college football that I grew up with. And I'm not talking about players getting money and transferring whenever they want to, but a player showing up to a away venue carrying some type of emotional doll or puppet or stuffed animal or whatever it may be.
Yep.
A player in uniform on the field in a game situation, not only wearing one wristwatch, but having two wristwatches on his arm while playing the game.
Why one? I mean, I'm a wristwatch guy, but why two? And why during a game? Why do you need to know when you're splitting out to the right?
You don't.
Hey, what
because
time is
you
it?
think you are some badass and I can do whatever I want. And I'm going to come out here with some bling on and be flashy, and it's going to make me play better.
Well,
okay, to me, you're opening yourself up for criticism and embarrassment when you do fall flat or you do something that hurts your team, and people are going to immediately be directed to that.
How about this? How about this picture of pregame warm-ups at Alabama? Pre-game warm-ups, I mean, they didn't even have the shoulder pads on. They were out there just right at the very beginning, otherwise known as John's check out the cheerleaders time. Stretching, doing the couple of little 10-yard sprints or whatever. Caden Proctor in pregame wearing his pads T-shirt underneath.
Yeah.
He is, practicing his back pedal. I do that a lot Saturday. He's practicing his back pedal and other. John, he's sitting there, doing, moving his feet, getting the juices flowing and everything, wearing his, uniform trousers, getting ready with his cell phone in his hand.
Yeah.
Out there on the field in pregame warmups.
Ridiculous.
I know for a fact John Hanna never warmed up with his cell phone in his hand.
No.
I mean, that's just, he just didn't.
Not happening.
What is going on? I bet, and this is, I don't know, I got nothing against Cam Coleman, who was lining up with two watches on his right arm.
Matter of fact, I think Gern Jr.'s got a picture of Cam in uniform with those watches on. If you hadn't seen it,
well, yeah,
maybe you can load that up.
I guarantee if he was going to score a touchdown, he was going to point to his watch, right? It's time, it's Cam time or something like that. I don't know. It is a different day and age, and I'm not down on the athletes. It's just different. It's just not the same thing.
It isn't, and I don't like it. I'll be the first to tell you. Whether you like this guy or not, I think he's got some very, very interesting opinions and analysis when he talks about sports. And he's been around. He's been with ESPN. He's been with Fox. He has been with Outkick. He's been around. His name is Jason Whitlock.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And he's pretty controversial, but he says what he wants to say. And he had a little clip that was on YouTube yesterday. You might want to check it out, entitled "Alabama Football Too Gay to Compete with Florida State."
Gay,
like not gay old time with the Flintstones, like gay in a lifestyle. And you might want to take a listen to it. He talks about Ryan Williams in that little clip on YouTube. You can just Google Jason Whitlock, Alabama football. It'll pop up. Matter of fact, if you can see it right there, there it is. It's got kind of a rainbow A right there.
What do you go to Outkick.com for that?
I just found it on YouTube.
Okay.
I just Google searched it. I just search Jason Whitlock.
There you go.
Alabama,
okay.
But
we'll try to get a link on
whatever you think. But yeah, those are some things that are kind of, stuffed animals, painting your fingernails, dual wristwatches in uniform. Do the coaches not have any say anymore? Are the fans going to like things like that? I don't think so. I do not think so.
What do you think? My buddy Jason Jones, love that guy. He says the college athletes today are the ones who are the first to play in the various World Series across the country and win huge, huge rings and trophy, regardless of whether they actually won the tournament. I mean, John's won over on me. He's got boys I don't. But John has, and his boys are all, athletes. They're all athletic. Daughters are athletic. And John was the first to say, how do you get a ring or a trophy just for showing up? That should be the basic expectation. What do you think? Jason makes a point.
Participation trophies hit the trash can before we even got in the car. I mean, which I loved it when they threw them. I think, yeah, good job. Way to go, my man. Barry, at the bottom of this hour, Josh Harris, the money line magician. Yes, I have checked up on him. He's not doing good, but he's going to join us today. Robert Kahn from Phoenix Physical Therapy at the top of hour number 2. Several injuries we're going to ask him about from over the weekend. CJ Duncan, Yellowhammer News at the bottom of hour number 2 will join us. And speaking of polls, Barry, there's another one I saw yesterday that I don't think Alabama fans are going to like this poll either.
What?
Yeah, we'll talk about it when we get back.
Yeah, he's John Longshore. I'm Barry McKnight. Producer is Gern Jr. He's down there somewhere, I guess. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Phoenix Physical Therapy is ready to help patients recover, recharge, and rise. They develop a customized therapy plan for each patient to get them back to enjoying their favorite activities. Their experienced team is committed to providing exceptional care in a professional environment. Whether you're looking to prevent or treat an injury, recover from a recent illness, or recuperate from surgery, schedule an appointment with our clinic and take advantage of our physical therapy, athletic training, workers' comp, and employer solutions service. Experience elevated physical therapy today. Call Phoenix Physical Therapy at 239-9316. That's 239-9316.
On the basketball court, the soccer pitch, or even the golf course, your crew brings their best not just for the win, but for that post-game celebration. When victory tastes like Michelob Ultra, it's worth every drop of sweat. And if you don't win, you'll still get the beer. It's just on you. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, 2.6 carbs, 95 calories. Superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Don't miss your chance to win big at Victoryland Casino. Play the latest, hottest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. Don't miss out on your free play. Stop by Player Rewards today and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. Come see why our players keep coming back. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, located off I-85 exit 22, Shorter, Alabama. Must be 21 or older.
Okay, here we are back at it on this Wednesday, Longshore and McKnight, presented by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. I see we've got a pick in on our 1 carat diamond giveaway. And I mentioned this yesterday, and I'm glad people have already picked up on it. It's pretty easy. Want to remind you yet again, Marguerite's and Longshore McKnight giving you an opportunity to win a 1 carat lab-grown diamond valued at $500. Pick the exact final score for the Auburn or Alabama games each week. If you hit the exact score, boom, you have won one of these fabulous 1 carat diamonds. If we have multiple entries, we'll have a draw off for the giveaway for that week. 1 entry per person, per household, per game. You can enter anytime beginning Monday up until kickoff of the Auburn game. Boom, you got to have it in before that. If they're the first game of the week, and I think this week, Barry, Auburn kicked at 6:30, Alabama at 6:45.
That is correct.
You better have both those selections in by 6:30. That easy. Longshore McKnight at gmail.com. That's Longshore McKnight at gmail.com. In the subject line, put diamond. And Barry, all weekly winners go into have an opportunity to win a 1 carat natural diamond valued at $3,000 during the national championship game. Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry, 8163 Vaughn Road in Pepper Tree, adjacent to Chappie's Deli, open 7 days a week. They make it. They really make it.
Okay, the tease, nobody does a tease better than John.
I love a tease.
Yeah. Now, what you were talking about before the break, let's flesh this thing out a little bit here.
Money. Yeah. Money. I was eating lunch with Cowherd yesterday. He had a lot to say about college football.
Yeah.
He had a lot to say about Alabama. But I thought this was interesting, Barry. He put up a panel on the screen showing the viewers the biggest spenders in college football via On3 Sports. This is where it came from, On3. The biggest spenders. And this is what, you got to spend money, folks. You got to do it. And Nick Saban said it 2 or 3 years ago at the club in Birmingham, trying to warn Bama fans about it. Number 1 is Texas. Texas Tech is number 2. Ohio State, Oregon, Texas A&M, Miami, Southern Cal, Michigan, Tennessee, and at number 10, the Auburn Tigers. So
number
Bama
10.
fan, where are you? Alabama's not on that list? Are they not spending any money? Well, based on what I saw Saturday, I guess they're not.
I saw something from, who was it? A.J. McCarron. I get them all confused. A.J. McCarron and, all those guys. I think it was A.J. He was saying that there are schools out there that are spending $30 and $40 million a year on NIL. Which is different, than the revenue share. You can spend upwards to $20 million. This is just NIL. He says, I know for a fact, this is him saying it, I know for a fact, talking with people around the athletic department who know that Alabama is around $20 million. A little bit less, he said, not even 20, a little bit less than $20 million. Is that competing? Is that... Look, we've talked about it before in the context of Bear Bryant. When Bear left, when he retired, there was a vacuum there. The field, Denny Stadium, wasn't much. I mean, it was bare bones. It was 59,000 and, didn't have any amenities, wasn't scenic or, didn't even play all their games there. The facilities were not great because people were saying, man, we're winning championships. Why we got to change anything? Saban did a great job. Again, I think he's the greatest football coach, college football coach that ever lived. Did a great job of bringing things up to scratch. Got to do this, got to do this, got to do this. But guess what? It doesn't stop. You don't get to a point and say, man, look at this. This is great. Boy, isn't this great?
Well, you're right. Yeah, there's fans that think that's what happens.
Yeah.
This Bama, it's going to automatically happen. Well, it certainly isn't going to happen now when money's involved and you got to spend to win. I mean, you look at the Big Ten, Ohio State, Michigan, they're the big boys. They're there. They're spending money. Oregon,
all the time.
Spending a ton. Southern Cal, huge market. LA, they're spending it. Got Miami in the ACC, Texas Tech in the Big 12, and then you've got Texas, Texas A&M, Tennessee, and Auburn. Now, I'm a little surprised Georgia's not in this top 10. Florida, obviously Alabama, LSU, but obviously Auburn has spent the money. I mean, they got Jackson Arnold. They've retained a lot of their players. I mean, you look at Ohio State on Saturday, you're looking at 2-3 players that Nick Saban had on the practice field at one time. Now they're in Columbus, Ohio. How do you think they'd be doing with Julian Sayin and Caleb Downs about right now?
Think about that for a moment. And McLaughlin last year at center, who won the whatever it is, the Remington Award. That's the reason why. So, I get why a lot of people are unhappy. I get it. I mean, that was a poor performance against a team that was 2-10 last year. I understand dissatisfaction. Here's the reality of it, and John's been trying to drag you into reality for a while. You can sit in the mud and pound your fists and say, we need to fire him, got to get rid of him,
Yeah.
Those are the people, at least the loudest ones, and they usually are. Those are the people who aren't donating very much, who aren't spending very much. You know what you need to do? The reaction should not be fire him. Pay the $70 million. We can afford it. Can you? Can you really afford the $70 million after hearing what John just told you? you have got to give, and you have got to give more. And when it really, really starts hurting, you're going to have to give more.
They gave it all
to
one person, basically, and that was Nick Saban 18 years ago when they paid him $400,000 a year. People thought they were insane.
Yeah.
And he took that and certainly parlayed it into $1 million salaries over the years, but he was producing, and they put it all on him, and he took care of it. Recruiting, marketing, scheduling, you name it. Saban had his hand in all of it, and it was extremely successful. Kalen DeBoer doesn't have his hand in that. And there's got to be other people up there that support that program that are going to have to start helping. And whether that means, what it means is donating money to them, because it's a money game now. It is all about money. And if you got it, you're going to be successful.
We've all told you the days in the upper echelon, the days of, playing for Old State U and all of that. And, that's your dream. Some guys still do that, but they want to know how much am I getting paid? Yeah. Okay. Look, here's the story. Like Jackson Arnold. Happy birthday today, Jackson Arnold, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's not a great kid. I'm not saying any of them are not, great young people, but this is the world they live in. Listen, when we were young people versus the world young people live in today, night and day. I'm glad I'm not a young person today. I'm glad I grew up when I did. Yep. But Jackson Arnold, the story about him, I think it was in auburnundercover.com, talking about how he ended up at Auburn. Look, he knew that he had to make a decision. He had to make a change from Oklahoma. So this is his dad talking. They're from Denton, Texas. His dad says, so our agent did some legwork. Our agent did some looking around. They call in some people, figuring, what the best situation was. So our agent came back and he said, look, what about Auburn? They need a quarterback. Their coach loves to run the kind of offense that Jackson is proficient in, and they've had a history of success. What about, you guys might want to look at Auburn. This is after the agent did all the legwork. So the agent got in touch with Auburn. They started talking about money. The money was in the ballpark, so they scheduled a visit. And they shook on a deal. It was a pretty doggone good deal. And Jackson Arnold's at Auburn.
I mean,
it's not that he, just
a pretty good deal. I mean, a dude wipes endorsement. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. So
that's a good deal.
Yeah. Free dude wipes. John's in. But that's what it is. It isn't. I remember reading the story. I guess it was about Jerry Duncan for Alabama, who was this is many, many, many years ago, and he's from North Carolina. He like hitchhiked to Tuscaloosa because that's where he wanted to play or something like that or whatever. And, got on campus, tears in his eyes because he was finally, this is Jackson Arnold. His agent says, Auburn looks pretty good.
Yeah.
There wasn't no lifetime affiliation with him or parents or grandparents or grew up going to games and always wanted to wear that, orange and blue jersey. His agent said, this might be an opportunity for you. All right. See how much they'll pay. Sure. There you go. John, it is a business relationship.
And Bama's got to get on that business train. Couple of chats before we go to the bottom of the hour, and Josh Harris, the Moneyline Magician, joins us. Bob from Pike Road chiming in today. My only question for Bob is, if you want to fire DeBoer, who do you want to hire? And everybody that wants to get rid of him, who are you going to hire? Please give me some candidates. I'd love to discuss that. I've heard all this fire, but I hadn't heard any hire.
Yeah. Oh, I like it. Bob says, Barry, I can promise you I've given more than most. I do believe that. I wasn't necessarily thinking of you, but he says, for a guy who's looking and knows what to look for, DeBoer has proven in 14 games he isn't the guy to take Bama where we want to go. He isn't him, end quote. And that may be the case. Again, I wasn't talking about you specifically, but if it is true, then what John was talking about, you're going to have to pony up more. Alabama if they're going to compete at the top, you got to give at the top. You got to have resources at the top.
14 games. In Bob's other chat, they are mediocre. They are, particularly by Bama standards. I don't want to get this. Well, there's 100 teams out there that would love to be where Alabama is right now. Who cares? What Alabama fans want is not this. So, yeah, is there any indication that they're not going to be mediocre? No, I haven't seen anything. I asked all summer long, what's changed in 9 months? Nothing. And Troy with an interesting chat as well.
My buddy Troy, love that guy.
This is a real interesting topic and subject in my mind, and I've seen AJ make some comments. I have not heard him make this comment.
John, you still good with Bama recruiting more kids from outside the state? I listened to A.J. McCarron. A.J. was not happy. He said, I listened to A.J. McCarron on the Bama Standard yesterday, and he thinks Bama needs to focus on recruiting Alabama more.
Well,
maybe.
I don't. I mean, if the best recruits are in the state of Alabama, then go for them. But you've got to recruit the best athlete nationwide. I don't believe in this, they grew up within the borders of Alabama. They got to want it more. They got to want to play more. They're going to play harder. Really? I don't buy that.
According to some people, the borders of the state of Alabama don't matter in recruiting. It only matters in who you pick for your non-conference home games. You can play anybody in the country. The world is at your feet. The world is your oyster. But don't go inside the borders to play non-conference opponents.
Exactly. I mean, you got to spread out. I mean, whether it's you got to find the best available.
Now, one more thing about those numbers. And Jason, I think the world of Jason was actively involved in the Troy Collective. Jason says those numbers are so overinflated. The NIL clearinghouse, the one that's supposed to clear all these NIL deals, is supposed to legitimize them. The NIL clearinghouse is a nightmare and not allowing those types of deals to go through. Teams are throwing these numbers out for recruiting. We never will really know. Probably right. I mean, that's probably right. But the ratio, maybe not the exact amounts are correct, but I do agree wholeheartedly, because there's a lot of people who have anecdotal evidence and stuff that Ohio State and Michigan and Texas A&M are spending significantly more on NIL than Alabama is. I don't know the exact numbers, and neither does John, neither does Colin Cowherd exactly, but I think
on three who made this list.
Yeah, or on three. I do think that the ratio, that the standings are probably correct. Well,
so Bob,
I
like John Summerall a lot, but he's won at Troy, he's won at Tulane. I mean, really? Is that who you want at Alabama? I mean, really? Is he proven enough? Lane Kiffin, you didn't even give him a phone call 2 years ago. D'Amico's leaving Houston, never recruited in college, and Gruden with that baggage. Bob, you got to give me 4 candidates better than that.
I love John Summerall. I could get behind John Summerall, one of my favorite people ever.
I mean, I like him a lot too.
I know. John and I have spoken to him many times. I know.
What is his resume? Won at Troy. He's winning at Tulane. Is that who you're going to hire to come to Alabama? You think the fan base is going to gravitate toward that?
He's been a coach at 2 different schools in the SEC. He's recruited Alabama like a crazy man. The Gruden thing, I don't get Gruden. He hadn't coached in almost 4 years.
Yeah.
The rest of them, pretty solid. That's what we're looking for. Appreciate you, Bob. We're also looking for our money line. Josh Harris, the money line magician. Took it on the chin. We'll visit with him as Longshore McKnight rolls on in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
You're not buying sticks, stems, and pine cones. You're buying premium long-diddle pine straw from River Region Straw. Kenny and his staff have access to the best pine straw in the River Region, full of color that will last all season long. Kenny has locations in Montgomery, Prattville, and Auburn, and no order is too big or too small. From a few bales to an 18-wheeler trailer load. Pickup is available, or your order can be delivered. They can even spread your pine straw if you like. So call or text Kenny today, 669-5959. That's 669-5959 for all of your pine straw needs.
The dreams that matter most happen while we're awake, because they're the ones that remind us of the places we want to go, of the ideas we plan to pursue, of the legacies we hope to leave. We understand you have goals to meet, and we want to help you reach them, to fuel your vision and invest in whatever motivates you. So we want to know, what inspires you? Synovus Bank, member FDIC.
Extra, extra. The referral perks just doubled at Dixie. Now through November 30th, get $50 for you and $50 off for your friend when you refer them to Dixie. That's a $100 value. Current Dixie customers get 10% off any repair just for being loyal. Dixie Cares Plan members get an unbeatable 20% off. Plus, you can finance anything over $250. Double the rewards, double the savings.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. So glad you're with us. 24 minutes to the top of the hour. And certainly been wanting to mention this for a couple of days now. So happy to bring in a couple of new sponsors, our good friends at Synovus Bank. And our friends there really appreciate their support of the program. Also, our good friends at Prattville Carpet, Ray Bowles and that crew up there in Prattville on Cobbs Ford Road for all of your flooring needs. Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry. They make it. They really make it. So make sure you go by and see our fine sponsors, just a few of the many that we have, and we greatly appreciate them all and certainly want you to go by and see them and, of course, do business with them. That's what they're there for. They have a lot of great goods and services that you need to be able or you need to be checking out. So we really appreciate that. Waiting for Josh Harris, the Moneyline Magician. I hope he's okay. I know Saturday was tough. I've gotten a couple of texts from him. I know he's kind of limping a little bit, as a lot of Alabama fans have been.
I want to see him, but I don't want to see him with like patches of hair missing or, 4-day growth of beard, looking like Ron Burgundy in the telephone booth. And I really just want to see him just to ease.
Make sure he's okay. Put eyeballs on him.
Yep. Happy birthday today to Jackson Arnold, the SEC co-offensive player of the week this week. If you're not juiced about going to the Ball State game this weekend at Jordan-Hare, you should be. I mean, Sovereign team comes in 1-0, big double-digit win on the road. If you're looking for something else, do not forget that this is Pat Dye reunion weekend.
Is it? Okay? Whoa, are we not invited?
This is the day.
Wait a minute.
On Saturday, it is the day when all of Pat Dye's old players are invited back. There'll be special commemorations of Coach Dye. All of his old coaches are going to be there.
Well, all of them?
Well, yeah. All of them who are alive. Yeah,
man,
it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
I don't know if all of his young players, his ex-players.
That was my next question.
There's a couple of them. Maybe. Probably not. There's a couple of players' wives, ex-players' ex-wives that are probably not going to be there. But, just all in all, who wouldn't want, if you are a dyed-in-the-wool, Botagetta Auburn fan, you got to be there Saturday night for Ball State. The memories come washing over you. The national championships.
Big video presentation talking about wrestling with them angels.
Oh my gosh.
I could
Japanese
be there,
maple.
I really do.
Yeah. So there's a lot going on. Again, there's probably some things that John would like to see that you probably won't see. It is not sponsored by the Torch 85. I can go ahead and tell you that.
No.
They couldn't afford it. So
Man.
Yep.
Wow.
Now, we were waiting for Josh Harris, our Moneyline
Yep.
magician. Maybe he's busy with something else. We've been waiting for this guy. Whew. My main emotion in hearing from Robbie from Greenville is relief.
Yeah, no kidding.
Robbie says, and he wasn't in yesterday. Of course, it wasn't in on the Monday show because it was Labor Day and everything. Robbie says, Alabama definitely got beat in all three phases at Florida State. But fans need to understand with the 12-team playoff, the season is far from over. Remember, Notre Dame lost to Northern Illinois last year and reached the CFP. They reached the championship game last year.
Mm-hmm.
It was the loss. They don't like losing. Losing's not good. Losing's bad. On losing. But I don't think the fans need to understand just how badly they played. I don't think fans need to you just need to understand we didn't hustle. We didn't try really hard. We didn't focus like we should. That's more than anything what has, the loss to Florida State's over with. What the lasting thing is if they play like that again, he ain't beating Georgia.
Nah, come on, Robbie.
He ain't beating Auburn,
Nah.
That's what they're after.
Robbie, what it's looking like to me, and maybe this is way too early to say this, but I just want you to have this in the back of your mind. This is kind of shaping up like an Atlanta Braves season. High expectations, a lot of talk preseason. Everything looks great, man. Former players going to practice, just coming away. Woo, national champions here. It's kind of the same thing I heard from Braves fans. Where do the Braves stand today, by the way? I haven't looked in a while.
Surely it ain't going to get that bad. Braves right now are in fourth place in the 5-team National League East. They're 15 games under 500. They've lost 2 in a row and 6 out of the last 8. They're only 18 and a half games out of first place, and we're in September and all, but hopefully it ain't going to get that bad. Quick one here from my buddy Troy. I've already texted this guy. He's my man, Neil Armstrong,
sweet.
not the astronaut. My buddy Neil Armstrong, who always watches, always is in our contests and stuff like that. One of my favorites. Happy birthday, Neil.
Beautiful.
Already texted here. We got a good one. One other Troy thing. Robbie says, who's the Troy player that's lost for the season with a knee injury? Yeah, it's Trey Cooley, who was a fifth-year senior who had a phenomenal fall practice. He was really, really good. Non-contact, week of the game, went down with a knee injury, gone for the year. But Tay Meadows came in his place, former walk-on, ran for $189, I think. He's a leading rusher in the country right now, so that certainly does help.
Hey, also, babe, remember Charles Henderson's at Greenville Friday night in a 5A Region 2 opener.
Yep. Robbie's hit him, Robbie's hit Alabama football.
Yep.
He's hit Troy, which I appreciate. He's hit Greenville.
Excuse me.
Watch out for Charles Henderson. Shout out to linebacker Wes Templin.
Yep.
But all we need, what is 4? It's not the Quinella. It's not the trifecta.
Yeah, of course, Quinella.
Yeah, okay. The 4. We need the Quinella. Robbie, what about the Braves?
Well, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't know who they open up with Sunday. I mean, I can look at the schedule. I know.
Oh, yeah. So that's 5.
Yeah.
That's 5. The Steelers, who do they have? Sitting here looking. I hate scanning. Oh, yeah. They're at the Jets.
Ooh.
Against former Steelers. No.
Jets
that'll be
good.
at noon on Sunday on CBS. Steelers versus the Jets.
Barry, I guess today I'm going to go over the NFL schedule in a little bit more detail. I did see yesterday, there again, I wish I'd have saved that panel. Cowherd was talking about the NFL, go figure. And I think he had maybe the odds for NFL teams to win the Super Bowl, and the Saints are in dead last. Bottom of the 32-team league. It's going to be a tough year. But I know they got their eye on that quarterback up in Baton Rouge for LSU. Been hearing a lot about that. There are
he looked good. He looked good. I was doing.
Are a 6.5-point underdog in their home opener. How about that?
Yeah.
That tells you how bad it is.
There is a game again tomorrow night. One more sleep until the NFL plays for keeps. Cowboys and the Eagles tomorrow night, 7:20 on NBC. There is a Friday night game, which I do not love. We talked about this when this came out. There's a couple of things I don't love about it. One of them is that they're playing it in Brazil. In Arena Corinthians, that's the name of the stadium. Sao Paulo, Brazil. Kansas City versus the Chargers in Brazil. What the heck? Number two.
On YouTube.
That's Barry. The other thing about it. YouTube. Love me some YouTube. I've got a lot of content on YouTube. Check me out. But, heck, we're on YouTube.
Yeah.
So the NFL... the way I read it, the NFL is trying to catch some momentum. They're trying to gravy train off of Longshore and McKnight's presence on YouTube and say, man, we gotta catch a couple of viewers from Longshore and McKnight. Let's get on YouTube. But we'll see how that works. I think they've had YouTube on before, and it was full of technical glitches. And number 3, Friday night's high school.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Some of you degenerates who are betting on a high school line.
Oh, there are a lot of them out there.
Now you gotta get the phone out and check out. Man, I got the Chargers in this one. Golly, come on, Jason Herbert, you big bum. That kind of a thing. No Saturday games for the NFL,
thankfully.
And a boatload of Sunday games.
Barry,
also Monday night.
This just shows you how bad it is.
How bad is
the
it?
lowest ticket price for the NFL this week is in New Orleans. You can get a ticket for as low as $36. The highest ticket as of this moment is $383, and that's the game tonight, Dallas and Philadelphia.
$36 to watch an NFL game? Now,
and you got Houston at the LA Rams as low as $47. That's odd. And then Carolina at Jacksonville, $59. Those are the 3 lowest ticket prices in the NFL this week.
Jacksonville wins on Sunday at noon. I'm wearing my Mark Brunell jersey on Monday. I disagree, and Robbie, he goes on a little bit about Robbie says this, and I disagree with this. He says, quote, Bama needs to worry about creating playing Louisiana Monroe. Instead of living up to the Bama standard, this Bama football season will not end like the Braves season. They will make the playoffs? All right. Here's the thing.
Have the Braves? Anyway, the Braves season isn't even over yet.
Saban used to tell you specifically that the opponent doesn't matter. You do your job, if you play to the Alabama standard, the results will take care of themselves. So I think you got it flipped around. They need to, I don't know about needing to worry about playing Louisiana Monroe. Louisiana Monroe, Louisiana, you know what I'm saying.
Sure.
They need to play to a standard more so than, oh man, we're only up 7. We better, no, forget about that. Play to your standard and you're going to be fine.
I saw a clip of Saban yesterday. Somebody posted it. They're beating the brains out of somebody, and it's like the last minute of the game, and they're in the wrong coverage on defense. He's screaming, cover 5, whatever. Nobody's looking at it. He calls a timeout, walks about halfway on the field as the defense walking to him, and he is ripping them a new one.
He ain't worried. He ain't worried about He's not worried about the score, Robbie. He's worried about playing to the standard.
Yes.
Well, when we come back, Josh Harris, Moneyline Magician, going to drop in with us in just a moment. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Local banking expertise, the newest innovations and technology, personal attention, genuine hospitality. It's all just part of the Riverbank and Trust difference. They invite you to experience it for yourself. Welcome to banking above and beyond at River Bank and Trust. Locations throughout the River region, locations throughout the state of Alabama. River Bank and Trust. Located just 8 miles north of Alabama's state capital, Capitol Hill features 3 18-hole championship courses. With more than 1,500 acres of golf and nature, the pure magnitude of this facility is amazing and allows each course to be drastically different from the others. Capitol Hill also features an innovative 360-degree driving range, 400 yards in diameter. Capitol Hill offers a fully stocked pro shop with the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Capitol Hill for tee times and more information. All right, back at it here on this Wednesday. Our man Josh Harris, the Moneyline Magician, hopping on with us this morning. I got to tell you, I'm a little worried about my man Josh. I got some text over the last couple of days. Whew, man,
he's not
Saturday.
We were wondering whether when he finally when he got with us, whether he'd be missing patches of hair, whether he'd look like Ron Burgundy in the phone booth or something like that. Josh, you're looking like you're handling things well these days. You're looking good. Appreciate you being with us.
I tried to look good. It doesn't look as good inside. It was first off, the picks were 1-4, which was not great. But the lock hit Syracuse and Tennessee.
I remember that one. Yeah,
there we go. But my Lord, that was one of the craziest weekends, days that, I mean, it just hit hard. I mean, it was just, it happened again. The off-season hype was BS. Castellanos talked his talk, walked his walk, and then kept talking after the game. He deserved it.
He's making money after the game, selling T-shirts.
Selling T-shirts about they ain't got Nick anymore. So I'm thinking, all right, why don't we just get Nick back 2 years, win a championship, and let's restart. Let's restart. I mean, it was – I'm looking at my notes for the game. I started taking notes so I'd have something good to talk about. First drive was good physicality. Boys are looking good. That's what it just said. Good physicality. We can run the ball. Then the notes say DBs are getting work. Xavier Brown made a tackle. That's nice. Check out who are our edge rushers. Golly, they're not good. They seem.
Now, wait a minute. As you're writing this down, to me, the language is a little tame. I mean, as I was writing it down, I was writing things that I knew I couldn't say on the air. At least I wrote them down that way.
These are notes. And I was like, Cuevas is pretty good. Tight end, he's solid. All right. Is it DeBose out there looking like, it's DeBoer DeBose now? And then, all right, at the end, field storm. We still got it. People, at least they stormed the field.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
a positive.
Come to Alabama and have the field stormed after your game.
Right. Do you want
I tell you, though, if it continues like that, Josh, these home and away series that Alabama has, there's going to have to be a clause in that contract that we're not paying for our fans to storm the field after we beat you. Y'all got to take that out of what we're paying you to come up here to play, because that's happening way too often. How does Alabama get that to stop? Because, Josh, I've been saying it all offseason. What has changed in 9 months? And what I saw Saturday, nothing has changed.
Nothing's changed. It's gotten worse. I mean, it seems like it's gotten worse than it was last year. I mean, this was worse than the Vandy game. It looked like a little bit more of like the Oklahoma game, where we were just punished the entire game. We got away from our game plan that worked. There's not many positives other than that we can run the ball in between the tackles. Okay. I mean, it was okay. Okay. And Ty Simpson can get out of getting sacked a little bit and then throw the ball away. There's really nothing positive to look into except for, okay, maybe it's a rough start. I don't know. I'm at a loss for words. There's really no coming on here saying we're going to be great again. this, and this. I'd be a fool to say that based on what I've seen.
Well, you say, there's no positives to bring out in everything. So let's luxuriate in the negatives a little bit. Other than knowing that the Aubs won on the road by double digits against other than having to wear that too.
Yeah.
What
Tennessee
else did
won.
what did you hate the most about the Alabama game? Was there a play? Was there a point? Was there a shot to the crowd?
DeBoer's face when they show him on the sideline and he's sitting there like this. I mean, that's the face he's making, and you're like, what are you doing? What is that face? Like, get mad, do something. It's like you want to shake him and just like, come on, man. Like, just do something. I mean, I'm sitting
even
there,
if it's wrong, do something.
Like, that's it.
A lot of Alabama fans feel that way. Show some emotion, get mad, get upset, pound the podium during the press conference, which is one Monday was embarrassing.
In the last year and the game this year, we've had more penalty yards than our opponent in every single game. So we've been the more undisciplined team in every single game that we played since Saban left. That's just unexcusable. How do you have – that's an unheard of stat. Who's more penalty?
Yep.
I mean, that's just unheard of, which goes to the defense is undisciplined.
Well,
in a multitude of ways.
The undisciplined, I want to explore that just a little bit. Do you subscribe? Did you see – talk about undisciplined. It just didn't play very hard.
No.
You see that? I mean, the effort was not what it should have been.
100%. I mean, the part of it is that makes me a little nervous to look into that too much is the clips. Of course, they're going to show clips of lack of effort. You can show people loafing all the time. Like we had an award in high school. It wasn't an award. It was infamous. They called it the bread man. Whoever was loafing too much on the field.
Oh, loaf of bread. I got it.
And so we had, by looking at the tape and the film, we had multiple bread men. Nobody's running to the ball. Nobody wants to make a play, which it would be, this is football. Like, what are y'all doing? It's insane. What are you doing? Like, this is not Pee-wee. This isn't some, private school league where you can dilly-dally around. This is Alabama football, and you're warriors, and you're lagging around. It's just messed up.
So, of all the games that you saw, what's the best team and the best performance over the weekend?
You know who looked really good, and and probably my shocker was USF. I mean, or was that?
Yeah, Boise State.
Yeah.
Boise State, USF. That was somebody that I thought just looked like one of those mid-tier teams that maybe now they've got money in Florida. It's a huge school down there. Maybe they start making some headway, right? That's an interesting team that I'm going to watch is can we have one of these teams that are in a big market start to perform just because they're in that big market that they used to not perform before? Like Baylor should be great. They're in Texas. They've got tons of money, tons of supporters. I don't know why they hadn't been able to turn it around, or maybe Jackson Arnold is just good and Auburn's good, and maybe they're not. I don't know. I don't know what world we're in anymore. I don't have any answers. I don't have any. All the. I saw something the other day. It was best weekend for hate watching football of all time.
Oh yeah, hating on Arch Manning, hating on Alabama.
People hate Dabo.
Yeah,
hating on him. So
hate Notre Dame. They got beat.
And the other issue is that I saw somebody saying like, oh, Alabama fans sitting up on their ivory tower. And even when you'd lose, they'd come and pat your head and tell you how great you were. And you tried so hard. And they're right. We've been patronizing everybody for the last 16, 17 years, and they're going to come for us. So we better be ready because I can't even look on social media anymore because it's just, I mean, last night I was doom scrolling, just terrible things about it. Couldn't go to bed. Just, it was just, it's awful.
Yeah, you got to get away from that. That'll keep you up at night.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up here, Josh, and I know it's early, but what are your thoughts today about how the remainder of the season is going to play out for the Tide?
I saw a ranking come out that had us 15th in the SEC, and I was like, y'all are insane. So I think people are, as a whole, I think we're going to be 9-win year, maybe 8. 8 wins is awful. I think I don't know how we go into Georgia and win unless something drastically changes. If Anthony McCall comes back and plays at UL Monroe like he did in 2007, we might be in trouble again this week.
Nice.
It's really scary. I mean, I'm going to go 9-3, and I think that's good enough for Alabama fans not to go completely insane, but it's not good enough for DeBoer to keep his job.
Whoa. Wow.
There's a bomb. Appreciate it very much.
Yeah,
Josh.
So I do got to wrap it up with this, though. If DeBoer is gone, and it sounds like you wouldn't be opposed to that, who are you going to get? I've been asking that all week. All these people, you got to get rid of him, fire him. Okay, who you hiring?
I mean, based on what's going on right now, anybody. I mean, somebody that can get the team motivated, like that's a football coach. Get Dillingham in here. I mean, you get somebody that is just motivated and at least shows that he cares. Like give us something. I mean, give us. How
about former UAB head coach Bill Clark? We're going to interview him tomorrow morning. What do you think about him?
I'll take him.
Man.
I mean, come on. It really does feel at this point. I haven't gone down the road of who will it be, but something's got to change. I don't have a first choice, but something's got to change. Let's give our guy a couple more weeks. Let's see if he can go into Georgia. We're really good against Georgia, so we'll see if we can keep that rolling.
Josh, as always, we appreciate it. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to better times ahead, okay?
Yes.
See y'all.
All right, buddy. Thank you, man. He's in good shape. He looks good, Bear. I was a little worried about him there. But he's looking good. He'll join us again next week, the Moneyline Magician. Our man Robert Kahn from Phoenix Physical Therapy is going to join us here momentarily, Barry. We got a lot to discuss with him. We usually deal with, physical injuries, but I wonder if he has to deal with mental injuries with Bama Nation over the last couple of days.
Shell shock, something like that. We'll talk with him in just a moment. Plus, of course, later on, football talk with CJ Duncan from Yellowhammer News. It's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Why Hands? At Hands Heating and Air, you get this area's highest ranked service provider with 24-hour repair service, no overtime charges, and their same-day service guarantee. Plus, instead of other companies' 30-day repair warranty, Hands gives you a 3-year repair warranty. Hands Heating and Air is here for you 24/7, 365. And service is not just something they do, it's their way of operating, for you in mind. All of Hands employees are trained to adhere to this standard. They work hard to ensure that this standard is maintained, and they are constantly looking for new ways to better serve you. Call Hands Heating and Air today at 508-5382. That's 508-5382, or find them on the web at 834hands.com.
Summer's here, and so too are its many challenges. Heat that won't quit, beers that won't fit, hammocks that won't hammock, screen doors that appear out of nowhere, flips that flop a little too much. That's why it's important to keep it simple. Keep it cool, keep them coming, and keep it easy. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Bud Light.
The Destin Connection Seafood Market offers the freshest seafood direct from the Gulf of Mexico with deliveries daily. Snapper, grouper, pompano, flounder, copia, along with medium, large, and jumbo shrimp, hand-picked crab meat, and chucked oysters. They can even cook your order for easy, quick pickup. The Destin Connection can make a po' boy with any of their seafood items that folks in New Orleans rave about. Go by and see them at 3750 Norman Bridge Road or call 288-4272 for pickup orders.
Okay, about 5 minutes past the hour here on this Wednesday. Robert Kahn, Phoenix Physical Therapy, going to join us here momentarily. We talked yesterday, Barry. There were several injuries in the sports world that we wanted to discuss with Robert to get his expertise on that. He'll join us here in a moment. You mentioned C.J. Duncan, Yellowhammer News at the bottom of the hour as well.
We also talked about, some of the things that are going on this week in and around that Auburn game against Ball State, Saturday night, 6:30. Why should you be there? It's Pat Dye reunion game.
Yes.
All of his old players get, a ticket deal or whatever, and they're going to be doubtless videos and stuff like that, that'll just bring your heart into your throat. At Alabama, here's what you can expect in the home opener for the fabled Crimson Tide. First time this year, Saban Field at Bryant-Denny Stadium against the Warhawks of Louisiana Monroe. Just get ready because you're going to see it. A field sponsor logo.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a logo at the 25-yard lines, both sides. It's called Build Giants, Alabama. With the U.S. Navy's Maritime Industrial Base program, that's going to bring a lot of jobs and ensure that Alabama continues to grow. We talked about that last week a little bit. So. Commercial sponsor advertisements on football fields have only been allowed starting last year and last year and the beginning of this year. This is only the second year. Alabama becomes the 9th SEC school to add a corporate partnership logo to its field in some form or fashion, and the 4th in the last month. South Carolina's got on-the-field logos from Blanchard Machinery. Texas has got one from something called Human. And Auburn, you'll see it on Saturday, will have on-field logos for Yellowwood.
Yeah.
As part of, Jimmy Raines' love to Pat Dye as well. They're going to be on the uniforms sometime.
It's coming.
Soon, probably.
Yeah. It is coming. I want to know this though, Barry. How long is the deal and how much is it?
Oh, how much it is?
I know somebody's got a 5-year deal at 8 figures. I want to know what this deal is.
Terms of the deal. I'm using my Ted Baxter voice.
Yeah.
Terms of the deal were not immediately available, while an official announcement is expected tomorrow.
Huh. Okay.
You're going to be settled in. I know that there are going to be fans. I know some of the fans who are going to look at that and say, what in the wide world of sports is going on here? They're not going to like it. And we're selling space on the fabled field at Bryant-Denny Stadium for anybody who can pay for it. Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They are. And
do you like players painting their fingernails and showing up with stuffed animals and wearing wristwatches in uniform? Probably not, but you're going to see it.
Somebody told you. As a matter of fact, I know 2 people. That guy and this guy have told you. Now, I'm not against it. So, Troy has done it for a long time. It's not like I'm against it. But we did tell you this was coming. We did tell you with all of this that there is going to be a lot more power that will begin to be resting in the hands of the student athletes.
Yep.
And, John and I have been, I remember one time John and I had a speaking engagement in Selma. We both said, we're when it comes down to an issue involving the status quo, or the benefit of the student athlete, John and I are going to come down on the side of the student athlete. They've been exploited for a pretty good bit. They now have a lot more power, a lot more freedom than they used to. And a lot of it's because of money. A lot of it's because, like I think John pointed out, I think I remember him saying this, what coach is going to tell their player that he can't paint his fingernails? Because you know what happens? That player, he's going to go someplace where nobody's got a problem with them painting their. You got yourself an emotional support stuffed animal, and your coach tells you that ain't going on the plane. You know what they're going to do? Next year, they're going to go to a school that says, yeah, you can bring whatever you want to. You can bring a life-size Barney stuffed doll on the plane. We'll buy a seat for it. That's the way.
That I can't handle as much. And our man
we
Robert
told you
John,
it was going to change.
Phoenix Physical Therapy, joining us here as he does each and every week. And I know, Robert, we deal with, physical injuries, bones, ligaments, tear. Do you deal with mental injuries too? Because the Bama Nation is mentally scarred.
It's not in our scope of practice, but I think I need some as well. It's been a tough couple of days.
What about that, Robert? Before we get into your true area of expertise, how did that one hit you Saturday afternoon?
It was disappointing to see, really, when you see the amount of talent that's out there on the field, that's the ability to play and just not perform, whether it's coaches didn't have them ready, whether it's just the attitude of the team. I mean, I'm sure y'all saw the same things, just the clips of just loafing on defense and not hustling and not getting to the ball. And, it's just I think we all knew when Nick Saban left, there would be, my biggest worry was what's it going to do to recruiting, but I think it's a whole lot more than that.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think it is a whole lot more. It'll be very interesting to see if there are any changes, if we notice any changes. I'm not sure this is the opponent this Saturday to really see all of it, but just effort. I think that's the main thing people are going to be looking for is better effort. All right, several things did happen that caught our attention. Let's just stay with Alabama. Their top receiver, Ryan Williams, on the field. It looks to be a concussion issue, concussion protocol. I know that happens a lot in football. How do you handle that? How do you recover? How do you get back on the field?
Yeah, it really depends on the severity. You can grade concussions from a grade 1 to a grade 3. It did not look like he was knocked out. If he were knocked out, they typically will kind of put him on a stretcher and get him off the field that way. He seemed pretty woozy as he was walking off the field, so probably, got his bell rung a pretty good bit. They'll immediately go into, concussion protocol, and that is just a gradual return to activity phase. So, it's all based on what his symptoms will be and what they will be each day. If they're improving, are they improving? To be able to move on to the next level of return to play phase. So they've been keeping it pretty quiet, obviously, on updates on what he's doing. I haven't seen any clips of him at practice or anything like that. So, will he play this weekend? All depends on his recovery this week and if his symptoms are improving as his activity levels continue to increase.
You see colleges, I know at Troy we see it. You see it in high school where, especially in preseason practice and during the season during practice, they wear, I don't know what they call it, but here at Troy we always call it the waffle rubber helmets.
Yeah.
Those things. Those are a relatively new development. A, what do they do? And B, are you in favor of it? Do you think that's a positive development?
Have you seen, if you've been watching clips of high school games this year, there are entire high school teams that are wearing these not only during practice, but during games as well.
Oh, wow.
Last year, you saw a couple NFL players wearing them as well.
Right.
It just adds another layer of protection. A helmet is very, very hard. And no matter what type of technology they improve these helmets to be, they're still very, very hard. So when you are running 20 miles per hour and your head hits a brick wall, which sometimes these running backs running down the field are like hitting a brick wall, it's a huge impact. And these cradle caps just do a little bit more cushion from the helmet. And in theory, you would think it would work really, really well. I think the studies are out there that show they do provide a lot of safety for concussions. I don't know if there's been enough research done on them yet, but you see a lot of teams wearing them during practice right now, but really some teams and some players going to full games, everybody's wearing it. I think it was Mountain Brook High School that I saw this year that the entire team was wearing them during the game.
Wow. You know, and in Ryan Williams' case, I think when we saw the play in real time, it looked like he got hit by one of the Florida State players, but the way I saw it, it looked like his head hit the ground really hard. And I think people, you know, really think it's got to be a helmet-to-helmet blow to give you a concussion, but no, you can hit the ground hard. That helmet slams on the ground, boom, it can rattle your cage.
Yeah, the ground's pretty hard too, for sure. You know, I think there was a potential targeting call that they waved off because he missed Ryan Williams when he was coming in. Now, he launched himself, but he did not make the contact. I agree with you, John. I think it was more forceful contact to the ground. And look, I know it's grass, and I know it's a little softer than maybe, you know, the old AstroTurf used to be, where it was just straight up concrete. But the ground is still pretty hard, and it doesn't have to be an opposing player. It doesn't have to be another forceful contact. Any type of hard hit to the head can cause a concussion.
I've seen quarterbacks who have taken a blow and weren't driven into the ground, but, you know, they fall backwards and their head doesn't hit the other player. It's not being hit, but it hits the ground as you're falling backwards. And I've seen athletic trainers come out and all of that. The ground is hard. Those types of things are every bit as legit as, you know, some of the helmet-to-helmet hits we see.
I think Tua's last bad concussion may have been thrown to the ground and head hitting the ground.
Yeah. When his fingers contorted, it was terrible.
That was in Starkville, wasn't it, I believe? Against Mississippi.
I saw it.
So.
He had one of them against the Dolphins.
In the NFL.
Yeah. We've talked about broken thumbs before. I think it was Drew Brees or some type of thumb injury, but Auburn's Champ Anthony also had a thumb injury. That's one of those things, Robert, you really don't know how important your thumb is until you hurt it.
No doubt. No doubt. I mean, it's really functional to do just about anything. Not play football, but to also get out there and just do daily activity types of things. So, I did read that he broke his thumb. They did surgery. They most likely put a pin in there. You know, the Drew Brees injury was a little bit different. He tore a ligament in his thumb that helps grip a football. So Drew Brees had that trouble gripping the football. This defensive back obviously won't be gripping any footballs. You know, depending on how the healing process goes, he'll probably be out 4 to 6 weeks. You know, sometimes they'll get him back a little bit quicker. They'll put the big club on him in the back, you know. Being a defensive back, maybe he'll wear that big club out there. I think it just depends on schedule. It depends on healing time and how he's progressing. But I think, you know, whenever you break a bone, you're probably talking about some extended period of time off, usually, you know, a month to 6 weeks or so.
Tim Keenan's missing some time at Alabama because of a lower body injury, and they're talking about doing tightrope surgery on him. I know John and I and you have talked about this several times, leading back to the famous tightrope surgery for Tua 5 years ago. But for those people who are new to the format and new to our medium here, the tightrope thing is still relatively new and it's still evolving. Go over the basics of that, if you would.
Yeah, the surgery itself is not really as new as we think. It's just kind of hit the news when Tua had his.
Okay.
The tightrope's been around a while, but I think they've just started using it more in professional sports, college sports, for the high ankle sprain. So when you have a high ankle sprain, you stretch or tear a ligament between your two bones. What they'll do is they'll go in there and really drill through your two bones, wrap a wire through it, reverse it, wrap the wire back, and button it off at the end. And so what this is doing is just providing more stability at that ankle joint. Someone like Tim Keenan, who's probably, 350, 375, big man, you know, when you sprain an ankle, there's a lot of weight on that foot. And so I think when they sprained it, you know, it was probably a pretty good high ankle sprain. And they thought our best case scenario for him to get back full strength is to do the tightrope, let's give him a 3 to 4 week period off, miss game one, hopefully have him back by Georgia, I think is what they're saying.
Right.
We've seen some tightropes come back a lot quicker than that. We've seen some take a little bit longer than that. But basically, you're going in and you're reinforcing and you're stabilizing the two bones together where the ligament has been compromised from some sort of sprain or tear.
Back to the thumb. Is there really any rehab, or is it just healing? I mean, I guess when you break it and they get it operated on, I mean, you're not doing things with rubber bands to strengthen it, are you?
He'll probably have some rehabilitation after he comes out. So when they immobilize it, so he'll be in a splint or a cast for a period of time. A lot of times after 2, 3, 4 weeks, the thumb will be very, very stiff and will not have as much range of motion that is needed to just function on a daily basis. So, he probably will have a little bit of therapy afterwards after he gets the cast off, just really working on range of motion, flexibility, a little bit of grip strength. But, that's not going to hold him back from getting out on the field.
There's nothing worse than having to get that finger and thumb and zip that zipper down, and it hurts so bad, but you got to go. You got to go. But, man,
absolutely.
Woo, you're right. You never know how much that thumb, how important it is.
Final thought here. We talked last week with our buddy Brett Vincent up in Wetumpka with Phoenix Physical Therapy, and he was giving us an idea of the scope of the outreach that you guys have with youth athletics. I had not even thought about this. You got middle school, you got junior high, you got JV, you got varsity, and all of these different sports. And again, John and I have made the point over and over again. Phoenix Physical Therapy is all over this region. How is the early high school sports schedule gone? Any noticeable trends or anything?
It's pretty good. It's been busy. It always gets busy around this time of year for sure. We're covering geographically, all around central Alabama. Barry, you brought up middle school, JV, varsity. Believe it or not, we're doing 5th and 6th grade football this year.
Wow.
So we've got athletic trainers out covering 5th and 6th grade elementary football for the River Region Football League this year, which is great. Those injuries typically are very, very minor, but it gives parents peace of mind to have somebody out there that if something were to happen, we've got a professional out there to help the kids and help the parents and direct them and coordinate care. So it's been good. So, I mean, we're 2 weeks into the season. It's been busy for sure. But it's been great. We've got lots of athletic trainers out there covering a lot of schools all the way from Pike County over to Dallas County, Butler County, Montgomery, Elmore, and Autauga County. And we're happy to do it. It's a great service that we provide for these schools, and I think the parents really appreciate it.
Well, there's no doubt they appreciate it, and it is a fantastic service for the athletes in all those areas you mentioned.
But not just for those athletes, those parents as well.
Mm-hmm.
If they're suffering from, I don't know, a torn rotator or something from throwing something at the TV at the Alabama game, you guys handle all of us old people too, don't you?
Absolutely. We can develop those relationships with the parents when their kids get hurt, or, coaches, administration. And, once you have that comfort with those parents, they don't forget that. So later on in life, 5 years, 10 years down the road, they're going to remember who took care of their kids and who did their rehab and got them back playing. They remember the customer service that we provide and the quality of care that we provide. So absolutely, when you have that torn rotator cuff from the weekend warrior activity, we're going to be your first choice for sure.
Hey, Robert, I'm sure there's a lot of Auburn fans, their shoulders, their elbows, throwing that toilet paper. I mean, they flooded that place again on Friday night. So if you've got a toilet paper injury, Robert and his staff are the folks to see. I can promise you. Got to ask you this before we let you go. Does it sound worse than it really is? I don't want somebody coming up to me and say, hey, man, I hate to tell you, but you've got a ruptured quad. That just sounds
that
bad.
happened with one of the pitchers we were talking about the other day.
That is a brutal injury. So a quad strain or a quad tear is different from a quad tendon. And what you're referencing is a quad tendon tear. And that is a brutal injury. So
San Diego Padres pitcher. We spotlighted that the other day.
Yeah.
Just in his motion.
It's bad. I mean, your quadricep comes down, tendon connects quad muscle to patella, which is your kneecap. And then you have a patella tendon that goes from kneecap down to your tibia.
Right.
So when you tear that, you're talking about a long, long process. You've got to repair it. You go in there and you sew it up, but then you're immobilized, you're protected. It's not a no pain, no gain type rehab. It is a healing process, and it is long. So this pitcher, you're talking at least 6 months to get back to doing any type of activity. You're probably talking about 12 months before getting back to competitive pitching. It is a long, long process. I talk about it all the time. There are a couple of injuries that I do not ever want to have in my life. So it's a quad tendon, a patella tendon, or an Achilles tear. I just don't want those three. That's just three brutal recoveries.
Yeah,
man, I hate to end on such a downer. Oh,
but here's the positive out of it all. Visiting here with Robert Kahn is people who watch this segment, and we've been doing it for years now at Phoenix Physical Therapy. They may have questions, or they may think of something that maybe they can help me with this thing that I've been experiencing. And you guys are always open. You ask a question. Let them, let these people and professionals know, what your need is, and you guys will be glad to listen and counsel them. Correct?
Absolutely. We handle everything from, young kids age 10 to 12 to older adults up in their, their later years, dealing with arthritic processes and total joints and just the old aches and pains. So and everything in between. We're not just sports medicine. We treat the everyday individual with all kinds of back pain, neck pains. We've got specialists in all of our clinics that deal with all types of injuries.
How do they get in touch with you?
I tell you, the easiest way, we got 14 locations around Central Alabama. The easiest way is probably, our main office here in Montgomery is 239-9316. Tell them where you live, tell them where you want to go and what you need to be seen for, and we will direct you in the right direction.
And I'm sure they can go to your website, look it up there as well with all the information there at Phoenix Physical Therapy. So, folks, we're telling you, whether you are an athlete or think you're still an athlete, Robert and his staff can certainly help you out and get you back in the game. Got a chat for you. Our man Josh Harris, the Moneyline Magician, wants us to tell you hello, says his brother is best friends with your son. So I thought we'd pass that along to you.
Josh and Ben, great family. I know them very, very well. And tell Josh hello for me.
We'll do it.
We appreciate you, Robert Kahn, Phoenix Physical Therapy, phoenixphysicaltherapy.com. Appreciate the time.
Thanks, guys.
You too, buddy. Thank you so much. Talk to you next week. Robert Kahn, Phoenix Physical Therapy. Man, a lot today, Barry. A lot of injuries. And that quad, woo.
I didn't realize it was like that.
I was cringing hearing him talk about that. Oh, boy.
Still to come on the other side of this break, we're talking pure football. CJ Duncan, Yellowhammer News. We got a lot of people who have a lot of questions, and there's a lot of chafing going on amongst the college football world that he's got to deal with.
Can we just skip the Phantom's Daily Dog, or should we release that real quick before we go to CJ?
Oh, let's do that, and then go to CJ at the bottom of the hour. God. All right.
Well, yesterday, Barry.
See, what had happened was.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. The dog ate my homework. Things didn't start out well, and they didn't end well either. We had Houston at home as an underdog. The Astros hosting the Yankees. Yankees got on them 7-0. 7-0. So, Barry, we were really giddy and excited. Had a great first week of college football. We've kind of hit a little slump here, but hey, today's a new day. So, you know what?
Yep.
We're going back at it.
Always got to get back on the horse.
Here we go.
Yeah.
And note this, 12-10 today. 12-10.
There's actually a couple of noontime games today.
Correct. This one is on Major League Baseball Network, where the Detroit Tigers are hosting the New York Mets. There again, Barry, I don't know much about these two pitchers today, but once again, we got a home team dog with a really good record. They are on a 2-game losing streak. I will tell you that.
Yeah.
Getting an underdog against the New York Mets that aren't chopped liver either. But I'm taking the home team in an early start plus 105 against the New York Mets today.
Well, the starting pitchers actually both have a local flavor to them. Starting pitcher, both of them having great years, by the way. For the Mets, it'll be right-hander Clay Holmes. He's doing great. He's 11-6 for the New York Mets, having a great year. He is a red top. He is from Slocum, Alabama.
Right.
Yep. And a real source of pride for our friends down in Slocum. And for the Detroit Tigers, having a fabulous year, former Auburn Tiger and #1 overall draft pick Casey Mize is going for the Tigers today. Mize was terrific, an All-American at Auburn, number 1 overall pick in 2018. It's been a little while, but he's having a great year. He is 12-5 this season. So a little bit of a local flavor in the Phantoms Daily Dog.
There you have it.
There you go. CJ Duncan, when we return, it's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Located just 8 miles north of Alabama's state capital, Capitol Hill features 3 18-hole championship courses. With more than 1,500 acres of golf and nature, the pure magnitude of this facility is amazing and allows each course to be drastically different from the others. Capitol Hill also features an innovative 360-degree driving range, 400 yards in diameter. Capitol Hill offers a fully stocked pro shop with the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Capitol Hill for tee times and more information.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Bush. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023, Anheuser-Busch, Bush Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Extra, extra. The referral perks just doubled at Dixie. Now through November 30th, get $50 for you and $50 off for your friend when you refer them to Dixie. That's a $100 value. Current Dixie customers get 10% off any repair just for being loyal. Dixie Cares Plan members get an unbeatable 20% off. Plus, you can finance anything over $250. Double the rewards, double the savings.
Okay, welcome back. Glad you are with us. Bottom of hour number 2. And I got to tell you, Barry, I've been really looking forward to hearing what CJ Duncan had to say about week 1 in college football. He joins us from Yellowhammer News. CJ, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, guys. Good to see y'all.
It's good to see you as well, and we're going to jump right into it, CJ. The length and breadth of college football last week. What surprised you, maybe more than anything else?
Oh man,
was it Tallahassee?
Yeah, I think it was Tallahassee. I think that surprised me more than anything. But not to start off on a negative note. I do think that LSU's win on the road against Clemson was very impressive, and also I think South Carolina, where a game where you have a few ups and downs, but to see their veteran leaderships kind of stand up there at the end and then kind of basically spread the game out a little bit on a special teams play, I think just shows you that they have the talent and they have the fortitude to be a good team going forward.
And I think LSU looked great. I want to get into them a little bit more into detail, but here's what I'm hearing. I'm sure you've heard it as well. And for a former player in the SEC, really like to get your thoughts. Mm-hmm. Loafing, soft, lack of execution.
Lack of effort.
Lack of effort. That's what I'm hearing about Alabama football after week 1. Your thoughts?
I think they hit the nail on the head. I just saw a team that wasn't engaged, disinterested, a team that, frankly, when you're coming out of camp, that should be the first game is the game you're most excited about, other than kind of your rivalry game toward the end of the year. We hadn't even gotten into the dog days of the season. If we're already playing this way in game 1, that's beyond coaching. I see a lot of DeBoer stuff coming out, and maybe it's a culture thing. Not going hard enough on the players during the off season, in the winter, the summer. Not the attention to detail, maybe not there around the facilities, but at the same time, these are grown men now, right? We've got to stop babying them. I know we're paying them a lot of money. We're hoping for them to perform for our schools, but these are grown men, and the coaches can't come in between the white lines. If another man is charging at you and trying to move you against your will, a coach can't help you with that situation. I saw too many guys on their back who are great athletes, and Coach Franklin used to tell me real athletes stay on their feet. So I think the players have to look in the mirror and they have to decide whether or not they want to play football. They want to be successful in this game of football and how far they want to take it. There's only so much a coach can do.
I know you like to stay positive and everything. I got to ask you about this. Is Florida State as good as they looked?
I think so. I think so.
I do too.
This team is just a year removed from being 13-1. That this coaching staff. There's a few changes here and there, of course, and you see the portal really showing up for Florida State as well, especially on the offensive line and at the quarterback position. Even Squirrel, who used to play for Tennessee and played against Alabama several times, he's on their team now as well. So you're seeing the portal show up, but this program is used to success and used to winning. Yes, last year was probably a fluke, but you've got a lot of guys that have played Alabama before on this team. And someone else that they had a left guard, I believe it was, who played at Vanderbilt last year when they beat Alabama. So none of those guys are scared of Alabama. Bama needed to go in and set the tone. They needed to punch them in the mouth and say, hey, we're back. We're the big dogs. We jumped off the porch and we're ready to go take this season. And they did not do that.
The financial aspect of it, the NIL. I've heard people talk about that. These players are more worried about how much money they're making in their NIL deal. I think it's easy to point to that. I think the coaches should be aware of that and do a better job of coaching on the field. But do you think the NIL had anything to do or is an issue at Alabama in terms of putting out the effort that you need to win?
I can see where folks are pointing toward the culture, right? Because everybody else is getting paid as well. Those Florida State guys are getting paid very handsomely to go to Florida State. That's why they have a pretty much revamped offensive line. None of those guys played at Florida State last year. And I think the quarterback got paid $800,000 to come to Florida State. So I think that everybody's dealing with NIL, but it's how do you deal with it? How do you continue to get to the grind, get to the work? How do you establish a team culture that will last? And, they were talking about, I think it was Virginia Tech, their coach took them to a retreat. No phones, no nothing. And it was kind of military style things that they had to do while camping. And things like that in the off season where things are really hard. You got to get away from your phone. You got to get away from kind of the material things in life. And you got to bond with your brothers. Those are the type of things that help you during the season. That's what creates that level of toughness and grit and want to. And not to say it has to be to that extent, but what did Alabama do this offseason? What did they do to kind of bring everybody in like this and saying, hey, we're going to wrap arms and nobody's going to break this chain. We're going to find ways to win a ball game.
CJ, what impressed you about Auburn?
Auburn, the efficiency. I think Jackson Arnold played an incredible game. They ran the ball well. I think usually at this time of year, defenses are a little ahead of the offense, but I thought Auburn was very efficient on offense. They ran the ball well. They've got multiple receivers that can play at a high level. But I just think going on the road as a team, there's going to be ups and downs. The other team's going to make big plays, but for them to kind of stick together, continue to push forward. At no point in that game did I feel as if Auburn was not going to win that game. I felt like they were in control of the game most of the time. And so I think they've got a lot to work off of. I think they've got to continue to find ways to get better and to be multiple. The passing game can continue to get better as time goes forward, but it's game one. And so it will get better. But I saw a lot of great things. And I had a coach tell me it's a lot easier to correct tape off of a win than it is a loss. So
yeah, I'm with you there. The Baylor did throw the ball for a lot of yardage against Auburn.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that's an area they're going to be trying to clean up this week.
Yes. And it's tough. You go on the road against a big, I guess that's Big 12 team. I've got to make sure I got my bearings. Everybody's switching conferences, but and known to throw the ball. And they've got great athletes on the outside. And they I can't remember the guy's name, but he was wearing number 1. But he's He was kind of a tight end slash receiver slash running
Michael
back.
Trigg. Yeah.
Yes, I mean he's just a great player. I mean, sometimes you just got to slow those guys down. You know, you don't have anybody on your roster that can cover them. You know, your corners are too small for them, but your linebackers and safeties are probably too slow for him. So it's just tough stopping guys like that.
There were 3 touchdowns scored in the Ohio State-Texas game. So it wasn't exactly a ton of fireworks, but man, I was really impressed with Ohio State. I don't think Texas lost it nearly as much as Ohio State just went out and took it, CJ. Your thought on the tone of that game?
I thought it was an incredible football game. I really did. I thought I leave that game thinking very highly about both programs. And I told folks this weekend, I said, hey, like, don't sleep on Texas, right? They lost the game, but I mean, if you watch that game, the amount of talent that both of these teams have, at all levels, offensively and defensively, it was just a really good game. And you know, for a while there, I was actually yelling at the TV, telling Sark to help Manning out. I thought Sark took a long time to kind of get acclimated with this game and to get going and dig into his playbook. I think he hurt them a little bit in the first half, and then he started opening up toward the end of the third, and we started to see some progress and some positive plays. But I think Manning has a long way to go. He had some really great throws. He has some things he can work off of. He's a super athletic guy. That's going to win games, right? His legs are going to win games. But I tell you what, not many first year starter quarterbacks are having to go against Matt Patricia in the Belichick-like scheme for their very first game in the horseshoe in the most nationally televised game, most viewed game of the weekend. So I think he was set up for failure in a sense. You know, if he would have won that game, I mean, we would have probably given him the Heisman next week. But I just think that was a very tough situation to be in. He was seeing a lot of coverages that he's probably never seen in his life. And the folks who were running those coverages were probably the best athletes in the country too. So I give him a little grace. He does have room to improve, but man, what a tough situation to be in.
CJ, Ryan Williams showed up in the locker room in Tallahassee with a stuffed animal. Cam Coleman was in uniform against Baylor wearing 2 wristwatches during the game. Your thoughts about that?
Caden Proctor in pregame was warming up, didn't have the shoulder pads on it. He's warming up out there. He's in his tackle stance and practicing his back pedal and all that. You've seen it a million times, CJ. Yeah, you see Cam Coleman and his watches. He's got 2 of them. Why do you need 2? Cam Coleman was practicing with his cell phone in his hand.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Do we like that or not, CJ?
Yeah, I'm trying to be politically correct here. So I'll start with Proctor. Proctor, I actually kind of understand that situation because he needs his cell phone for his head for the music. And I've had mine too. I usually tuck it in my girdle, but if he doesn't want it to get all sweaty and stuff, fine. I understand his situation.
Okay.
The phone is for the music, so you can control what you're listening to. The other stuff is where I'm going to be careful, but I do think that this generation has a issue with wanting attention, wanting eyes to be on them. And, I think a lot of social media kind of encourages that kind of thing. What can I do to go viral, in a sense? And I think that these players are kind of falling into this just terrible hole of wanting to be viral rather than good, wanting to be viral rather than respected. And so I think it's setting the wrong tone in a locker room. Ryan Williams, I don't know where Cam Coleman stands at Auburn. I don't know if he's a leader, captain, whatever it may be, but Ryan Williams, based on what he did last year, I'm sure the coaches want him to be a leader. And I wouldn't want that out of my leader at any point during the season, but especially to start the season off. We've got to be locked in. We've got to be focused. Wear your suit, go into the locker room, ready to roll, not trying to go viral. And that's what turned out to be. And then it looks even worse when you play the way that he did. Very talented guy, but didn't create any separation. Had some alligator arms,
Cool.
On a few passes across the middle. Just not a great showing for him.
Yeah.
Why did they play him in the slot? I mean, this guy should be playing out wide.
Yes.
I didn't understand that.
So usually when offenses do that, they're anticipating the defense to double team them, right? And they're expecting heavy press coverage and help over the top. If you move them into the slot, it's harder to play press man, and it's harder to double team from that perspective. If you go and watch the Ohio State-Texas game, you'll see Jeremiah Smith started off outside, and he would go back and forth from outside to slot to find ways to get him open in the middle of the field. It's harder for linebackers and safeties to double rather than a corner and a safety. So if you move him around and he's in different positions on the field, it's harder to double him. It's harder to put this cloud coverage over the top of one guy. And so I understand that aspect, but you also got to be one of those guys that just have it in you where you're good with going across the middle. I think we've talked about it before, I believe that's why I was successful in college, because I didn't mind going across the middle, but not everybody's got that in them. So,
well, yeah, boy, you'd love to see a matchup where you got a linebacker at least in partial coverage on Ryan Williams. That's good stuff. I hadn't thought about it in that context. So what we always get from CJ Duncan, Yellowhammer News. Always great to talk with you. I know.
Got to ask one more thing.
All right.
Big win. Virginia Tech coming up. What about
the road, right?
Yeah. What about your Commodores coming up this week at Virginia Tech?
I'm excited about the Doors. The Doors look good. It looks like we're still rolling off of, the success that we had last year. A lot of confidence, a lot of toughness out of this ball club. I think they're focused. And that's what I was looking for this weekend was how focused are we going to be? Are we going to play to the level of our competition like we've done in the past, because we know we have Virginia Tech coming up? But no, we went out there and handled business. Diego looks very strong. He looks very focused. He's throwing the ball accurately. He's still tough as nails, and the team is following him. And we've got some veteran defensive guys that are really setting the tone as well. So I'm excited about this weekend. It'll be a tough test. Shout out to Coach Brent Pry, who is the head coach for Virginia Tech. He was the linebackers coach at Vanderbilt when I was there. So it's kind of a house divided situation going on there. Appreciated him while he was there.
Man. There you go. Always great insight. CJ, we appreciate you, man. Talk next week.
See y'all. Y'all have a good week.
Hey, thank you, buddy. Great info, great analysis, great opinion. CJ Duncan, so glad we have him on each and every week from Yellowhammer News. 45-3. I mean, show your gold. How about it, man?
Not over all of Charleston, but just Charleston Southern in that game. But they attention to detail. Watch out. Anchor down. When we come back, it's the Gern Jr. Victoryland 777 Topic Wheel with Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud Light.
Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry and Longshore and McKnight are giving you the opportunity to win a 1-carat lab-grown diamond valued at $500. Pick the exact score for either the Auburn or Alabama games each week. Limit 1 entry per person, per household, per game. You can enter anytime beginning Monday morning the week of the games, and all entries must be received before kickoff of each game. Enter by emailing your picks to longshoreandmcknight@gmail.com. That's longshoreandmcknight@gmail.com. And in the subject line, type in diamonds. 1 additional entry to win a 1-carat natural diamond valued at $3,000 will be up for all weekly winners to pick the score in the national championship game. Marguerite's Exquisite Jewelry, 8163 Vaughn Road in Peppertree, adjacent to Chappie's Deli. Open 7 days a week, or check them out at marguerites.com. At Marguerites, they make it. They really make it.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level. And the stakes, Oh, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Prattville Carpet is the most trusted name in flooring in the River region. Ray Bowles and his staff have an extensive line of Mohawk, stain-resistant carpeting in all the latest styles and colors. Prattville Carpet also has hardwood, vinyl, and ceramic tile for all of your flooring needs. Professionally installed at the absolute lowest prices. Take advantage of cash and carry vinyl plank at just $239 a foot. Call them today to set up your free measurement for your home, office, lake house, hunting camp, or wherever you need flooring. 285-8117. That's 285-8117, or drop by 2201 Cobbs Ford Road in Prattville for Prattville Carpet. All righty, back at it. 10 minutes to go here on a Wednesday. To let everybody know, Barry, I kind of hinted at it earlier. Jason Caldwell, Auburn undercover in his normal slot at the bottom of the first hour tomorrow. Rodney Orr, the Tider Insider, at the top of hour number 2. And looking forward to talking with Bill Clark. He joined us several months ago, former UAB head football coach, was at Prattville for so many years. He's going to join us at the bottom of hour number 2 tomorrow.
Love that guy. Love that guy. It's going to be another great show tomorrow. A lot of great insight. We get some good stuff from some of our people, in depth into college football, college athletics. Right now, let's go in depth on the Gern Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel. We don't know the topics. Gern does, because he's the one that researches and presents them. It's all brought to you by Victoryland 777 Casino, exit 22 off I-85 in Shorter, Alabama, where you can be a winner too.
All right.
Let's see what we got.
It's spinning away. A lot of grease on the wheel today. Big suit. Is this a lawsuit or is it a big piece of clothing? Let us see.
Oh, yeah. It's a class action lawsuit. You can join it if you want. By Vanderbilt linebacker Langston Pannis, defensive lineman Issa Watara. The red shirt rule. The NCAA permits athletes 5 years of eligibility, but restricts them to playing in just 4, as one of the 5 years reserved for the utilization of a red shirt season, blah, 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 antitrust violations, implementations of red shirt rules. What it means is they want the NCAA to just allow everybody to play 5 years. 5 years to practice, 5 years to graduate, 5 years to play. That's all that it is. And like any other lawsuit against the NCAA is going to lose. History tells us that. So basically, what it'll end up doing is something that the NCAA should have shown leadership in the first place, but instead they're going to let the courts deal with it, is pretty much, with the Pavia rule, where if you played 1 year junior college, that's not NCAA, so that count against your entry. Pretty soon, it's going to work out, John, where everybody just plays 5 years.
Barry,
if
I
you miss
always
a year
wonder.
For an injury, that's tough, but you have 5 years to play.
Yeah, I mean, who set the regulation that you should be out of college in 4 years? I mean,
was that just a suggestion? Was that just sort of a mild expectation? Because 4 years?
Come on,
man, 4 years is nothing.
Yeah, it's not long enough. Yeah, 4 years, no way. All right, let's get that wheel spinning again.
Yep.
Look at all those colors. Man, way to go. Victoryland 777 topic wheel, where you can be a winner too. Exit 22 off I-85, Shorter, Alabama.
Bad debut. We've seen some in our times. Oh, yeah. Bill Belichick. Ooh. Did you watch any of that?
Well, I did till it started going the other way.
It was horrendous. The big time crowd, fans getting crazy, all of this stuff in the off season, big Hulu, thing and everything. They scored the first touchdown, and that was it.
I mean,
48 to 14.
MJ, you got LT, I mean, LT's up there going, man, I got set up like a.
You got Roy Williams up there. You got Mia Hamm, who people don't know, but she was one of the greatest player in soccer. No less of a personage than Philip Marshall pointed out that in his last 3 years as a head coach, do you know what Belichick's record is? Last 3 years as a head coach, 12-23.
A lot of L's.
Not enough W's.
Not enough W. If he goes like...
This is his post-game press conference. What are they doing? Is this Churchill Downs?
If he goes like 5-7...
for?
Is he going to go, I've had enough?
Yeah.
This
I think what he wants is to, because nobody in the NFL would hire him when he really wanted to coach in the NFL. His son's the defensive coordinator. He wants his son to be the head coach. Well,
he better stop somebody.
Yeah.
Because TCU's running all over him.
Herb Street's talking about, man, this is a big series coming up for the North Carolina defense. He barely got the sentence out of his mouth before that TCU running back goes 75 yards. I guess, that's...
I mean, was Mac Brown that bad? Huh? I don't know.
Hey,
Dr. B, we see you, my man. Appreciate the chat there today. Good stuff from Dr. B. Tobias earlier today. Appreciate your chats as well.
Here we go. Back to the Victoryland 777 topic wheel. Because we got 4 more. We're good. This is easy.
No sweat.
Easy squeezy.
4 more to go.
I kind of like fighting taters, but it ain't gonna be. Instead, it'll be number 25, which, fun fact, was my number in junior high school basketball.
Right.
Novak Djokovic, 38. The U.S. Open is going on.
It is.
Djokovic, Carlos Alcaraz, who's the best player in the world. He's 16 years older than him. Then final against Yannick Sinner. If Sinner takes care of himself, they got to play Lorenzo Musetti. Djokovic has had 24 Grand Slams won. He's been to 37. And he is looking mortal. I mean, he's still tremendously good. He's still one of the top 5 players in the world, but there's balls he can't get to anymore.
That's right.
It takes him a little bit longer between matches to recuperate. And all
I know the feeling.
We've been there.
Yeah.
Know that well. Yeah.
So, good luck to him. Yellow, blue, and red on the Victoryland 777 topic wheel. You can be a winner too. Open 24/7, 365. Back in gold.
Yeah. They've got the end zones painted gold at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. They've got gold jerseys. I like the black helmets. It's going to look terrible. Look terrible in black, and believe me, they're terrible. But at least they'll look good. Do you like this combination for your Saints?
It's okay, Barry. I think the gold is a little faded. Vanderbilt had kind of that faded gold thing going for a while. As a matter of fact, it kind of looks like a Vanderbilt uniform.
Kind of does.
I like the Saints when they play in all white. I like that look with the gold helmet.
Just
they don't play it very often.
Just no all white with gold numbers.
No.
You look at some of the gold numbers on white. Play-by-play guys hate that stuff.
I'm not a big fan of their all-black uniform with the gold helmet. I don't mind the black helmet. I think it looks. I like to see that with the all-white unis. But we'll see. I mean, they're trying to do anything they can get anybody in the Superdome.
The all black with the gold helmet. Look how rotten banana. I never have liked that very much.
I don't like that.
Okay, and you're not going to like the way they play either. They're terrible. They stink. They're awful.
No, we're not.
All right, here we go.
Yep, 2 more to go. Got to spin it.
I want to do fighting taters. Please land on fighting.
I think you got it.
Okay, fighting taters. This is good.
Taters.
This is going to be good. The Idaho Vandals. I've actually called several games at the Kibbe Dome in Moscow. It's not Moscow. It's Moscow, Idaho. This is what they have on the side of their helmet. It'll say fighting taters.
Okay.
Love it. Love it. Idaho, by the way, used to be in the Sun Belt. That's why I've called a couple of football games up there. It's a great place. Idaho is beautiful. But they ended up dropping down to FCS, which a lot more schools probably need to do. Idaho's got a pretty good following there. And, of course, they're famous for their potatoes. Says so right there on their license plates. But fighting taters.
Okay.
Does that intimidate anybody?
Not really.
Hey, guys, look, we got the taters this Saturday. Ain't going to be no joke.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Ducks. I've never thought Oregon. I mean, come on. I'm not a big fan of that. All right. I think we got one more to go. Got to spin it to make it official, which we will do here on our Victoryland 777 topic wheel. You can be a winner too at Victoryland.
Oh, this came early. This came early. First inning home run. Top of the first. Rafael Devers for the
Look
Giants.
at that crowd. Hey, John, you looking at that?
Yeah, this Colorado, and Colorado's horrible. But Devers hits a 2-run homer, and he don't even make it to second base. Here we go. Your mama too, you can.
Yeah.
And everybody's just, they ain't having it. This is top of the first, John.
Love it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, John's just barely even at the parking lot there, and he's missing it all.
Yeah, if I'd have missed this going to this game, I'd have been pretty upset.
Ticked off.
Yeah,
no
first
question.
inning, I mean, they're getting at it. Ooh,
yeah.
what does that
Hit
make
the home run, run the bases. Don't be jawing at people.
See, I got a problem with that. You know what the guy probably said, Barry? Hey, it's going to be like this all day.
I'm here all day, Playboy.
Yeah, I'm coming back up probably in the next inning because
you're going to have to deal with me again. And the pitcher said something disrespectful, and that's it. Hey, excellent job today. Really good. These are the high points around the world of sports as collected, curated research by Gern Jr., our fabled producer, to end what has been a show full of energy today.
Yeah, I'm so glad Josh Harris was able to hop on. I was a little worried about him, but he seems to be okay. The sun did come up on Sunday. Our man Robert Kahn, Phoenix Physical Therapy, some great input and knowledge about some of the injuries in the sports world. And, of course, CJ Duncan, Yellow Hammer News, another great segment with him as well. Barry, we got a lot going on tomorrow on the show tomorrow as well.
Yeah, we've got, again, special visit from former UAB and Jacksonville State coach Bill Clark is going to join us. Jason Caldwell, AuburnUndercover.com, plus Rodney Orr, the Tider Insider, presented by the Destin Connection Seafood Market. All on tomorrow's show.
Man, no kidding. Man, and an NFL tomorrow as well.
That may mean a Phantom's Daily Dog, but it might not. We can't commit to that as of yet. For Gern Jr., our producer, John Longshore, Barry McKnight, it's Longshore and McKnight in association with Yellowhammer News, presented by Bud.